Next up, we have Mike Marsman. I lost my job, but I found myself. Mike is a London, Ontario native and a UWO computer science grad that's been working in the local tech industry for over 10 years. He considers himself part biz geek, part techie, closet entrepreneur, and is a proud father of two. Mike would prefer riding his bike to work on a -2-degree day than driving a car with heated leather seats, or whichever gets him to Starbucks first. Mike?
So I'm here to tell you a story today that I feel like I've told about 100 times, just never quite in this way. This talk isn't about losing something as much as it is about what I found. And I'm not gonna sell you on some cheesy lemons to lemonade bullshit story. The reality is, I learned some lessons the hard way, and tonight I wanna share them with you in a real and genuine way. About a year ago, I found out, along with 125 of my closest coworkers, that the technology company we worked for here in town was shutting down. Some of those folks are here tonight. In the big picture, that was the easiest thing I had to deal with that year. 10 days prior to that shutdown announcement, my daughter was born, 4 weeks premature. We spent a lot of time in and out of the hospital. A month prior to that, my wife was admitted with a critical blood infection that threatened her life, the life of my unborn daughter. We spend more time in the hospital than we could imagine. So the reality of my story is that losing my job was probably the easiest thing I had to do. Looking back on it, there were 3 key kind of unobvious lessons that I want to share with you tonight. Lesson number 1, you need to stop to keep going. So if there's any Scott Stratton fans in the room, you've probably heard his TED Talk on this. I did. It really touched me and it sat with me. In life, we are taught to go, go, and go. My wife was sick, my child was born premature, straight into the NICU. We were in and out of the hospital a lot. I took some time off, but I never really stopped. I didn't know how. When I lost my job, it forced me to stop. And I don't want to make it sound like I had it worse off than I did. Everyone is happy and healthy today. We're very blessed. I was one of the lucky ones. I found work within a few months of the shutdown, without moving, and fairly quickly. I took the summer off, I spent it with my family. I firmly believe it's the best decision I could have made. I gained more perspective and clarity in my few months of unemployment than I did on a decade on the job. Stopping allows you to prioritize, to take account. I didn't know how, I needed a brick wall. Lesson number 2, you need to do things that matter. Spending my time with my family, it was an investment. It was something that mattered to me, and maybe the best thing I've ever done. But we all know reality bites. Paying the bills, putting food on the table, that's doing something that matters. And I'm not suggesting that you quit your day job or you drop out of school for some altruistic plan. What I am suggesting is that you look at what you're doing in your life and you ask yourself what you're giving up in return. For me, my son looks at me like I'm his hero today. I know that. Am I spending my time doing something that his hero would do? I chose to volunteer time with my community, I chose to invest time in my family, and I recognize that I've got an entrepreneurial itch that I'm dying to scratch. So consider this. If you're doing something that doesn't matter to the people that are important to you, ask yourself why you're doing it. Lesson number 3, real opportunity, it lies outside your comfort zone, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Being here tonight, outside my comfort zone. But if you look at finding opportunity like you're standing still trying to catch a shooting star, I guarantee you are doing it wrong. And I'm not here to give you some power of positive thought psychobabble. I have learned, though, that people are generally good, decent beings, and it's in our nature to want to help each other. So the best way for you to find opportunity, in my experience, is to open yourself up. It sounds cheesy, like a sail. Let the wind find you. Get outside your usual comfort zone. Push your limits both personally and both professionally. And don't be too proud to ask for help. Sacrifice some pride along the way. Yes, this does mean you'll need to be vulnerable, and that's hard to do. So that's it. Every dark cloud has a silver lining. I know, cheesy. I lost my job, and yeah, that sucked. But I could have lost a whole lot more. I learned some key lessons, and those lessons were my silver lining. I hope you don't have to go through something similar to take something away from this. 3 key lessons: stop so that you can keep going, find some time to gain perspective, and breathe. Lesson 2, do things that matter. Our time on this planet is limited. Our stories all end the same way. I want my children to be proud of how I spent my time here. Lesson number 3, get outside your comfort zone. Push yourself personally and professionally. Don't be afraid to ask for help, and help opportunity to find you. So the reality is, I didn't just come here tonight to share my story with you. I did it so someday my kids can watch this and understand why we did what we did when we did it. Thank you.